And here we are, folks, the main event. Today I'll show you how to skip both parts of the final fight in SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. This is done by activating an invisible trigger on top of the spawn platform in phase 1 to skip it, then boosting down to the lower level in the second phase to skip right to the brain and finish off the fuses inside of it. This actually makes the second phase of the fight easier than playing it casually. So even if you aren't a speedrunner, this can be very useful in a casual playthrough if you get stuck. Very few skips in this game are easier than the intended method, so take what you can get. Now before you begin, you must disable hands, the hand that pulls you back into bounds when you leave bounds. Just go to Bikini Bottom, lay next to the left of this taxi pad with this camera angle. When the hand pulls you over the pad, accept the prompt, go back to the same spot and lay there again. You should be pulled into the loading zone for Jellyfish Fields, disabling the hand. This is critical for your success in the second phase of the fight. Now on to the fight itself. To start off, when you load the level and use the cruise bubble instantly, you'll benefit from invincibility frames. This means that for your first cruise bubble, if you're quick enough, you'll be invulnerable, so you can use this to hit one of the lights on Robo SpongeBob straight out of the gate. Now if you quickly activate another cruise bubble immediately after the first hit, you can hit him a second time and summon Robo Plankton. Now you probably haven't been paying much attention to his placement up until this point, but Robo Plankton can appear on either side of the starting platform at any distance from you. So pay attention after the second hit to see where he comes from, and aim the cruise bubble in the general direction in which you think he's headed. Keep in mind that sometimes he may stop to juke you out, which you should be prepared for as well. Occasionally the cruise bubble can clip through the hitbox of Robo Plankton, so I recommend manually detonating the cruise bubble once you're in range of him. Just hit the cruise bubble button or trigger once you touch him to assure the hit lands. Now at this point the big Bob should be waking up from his nap. Before he wakes up you should position yourself in the left side of the platform, facing the right side in preparation to run. You must stand on the left side before the robot attacks you. Otherwise, he'll hit the opposite side of the platform and mess up your setup to skip the fight. As Robo Bob approaches, walk to the right side of the platform and stand on the edge. For this part, I can give you advice, but it ultimately comes down to getting a feel for it. It's hard to articulate the exact movement because it's very feel-based, but I'll try my best. Just focus on the visual and sound cues when you're trying to practice on your own, and you'll eventually get a feel for it. The visual cue is the karate glove colliding with the platform. The sound cue is the thumping sound from when Robo Sponge hits the platform. Now when you're on the right side of the platform anticipating the attack, walk to the right and full jump at the same time when the glove hits the platform, which is also indicated by the thumping sound I played earlier. If you focus on these two cues in the basic movement of walking and doing a full jump, you'll eventually start to get a feel for it. And by full jump, I mean holding down the jump button to maximize your jump height. Don't tap the button, hold it down. Now if you do this successfully and travel straight up, you should hit the trigger to skip the first phase. If you miss the trigger, you should try double jumping at the peak of your height, and sometimes you'll barely touch it if you were slightly off. If that doesn't work, follow the ground and reset the attack cycle. Then jump on the trampoline here and land on the platform to the right of it. Now this is not the platform with the trigger over it, so what you're going to do is set up the trick exactly the way I explained before. Then, instead of letting yourself fly straight up, pull to the right and use your double jump if you have to touch the trigger above the platform to your right. If you're having trouble boosting into the air, there are a couple of things you can do to judge whether you were too early or too late on your jump. If you hop over the platform and get no height, you were too early. If you spin around the platform or take damage from the karate chop, or both, you were too late. Calibrate your jump knowing these two things and you should be able to get the timing down. Now once you hit the trigger, pay attention to your controller vibration as the cutscene starts. Despite being in an active cutscene, the world around you is still moving in real time while it's going on. So if you skip the cutscene before SpongeBob lands on the ground from that big jump he just did, the spatula collection animation will be forced to activate after you enter the next level, which isn't desirable because it's very slow and it's easy to skip if you just wait for yourself to fall. When SpongeBob lands, your controller will vibrate. Skip the cutscene after the controller vibrates, as this means you've landed and the spatula animation has started. Therefore, the spatula animation won't start when the next level loads. Controller vibration is a great way for getting a feel to when to skip the cutscene. I don't personally use vibration, but I recommend it to anybody starting as it can be very helpful. And now it's time for the second phase. This part is very simple. Just bowl the Duplicatotron after jumping on this trampoline, stand to the left of it on this edge of the platform like so. So the hammer bot may spawn and try to hit you before the thing blows up, but if it doesn't, the duplicator will still explode and send you down, so it covers both possibilities. You should have the hand disabled at this point, by the way. If you get caught by the hand here, it probably means you missed that part of the video. I recommend going back and rewatching it if this happened to you. But if you already disabled the hand, great. You should be sent downward into the fuse by the electric gate. Just hit that thing and jump onto the trampoline that spawns to enter the final segment of the fight. You'll notice that Robo Plankton won't appear in this part, and that's because he's still waiting for you to defeat the robots on the first platform. So all you have to do is use the cruise bubble on all 3 fuses and you win. The first phase is what you'll need to spend the most time on for practicing the skip. The second phase is more of a victory parade when you finish your runs, so to speak. It's pretty hard to mess up there once you know what you're doing. So you know when you hit that trigger, you're almost guaranteed a PB when you're far enough ahead while finishing off that robotic brain. And there's no better feeling than that. If you want to learn more about the crazy tricks that are doable in this game, click on the playlist I have linked in the description for more tutorials, and subscribe to my channel for updates on the new ones. I also upload full speedruns of my own, so check those out if you want to see these tricks in action. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments section or ask me live on my Twitch TV channel linked in the description as well. Check out these videos if you like this one, and I'll see you next time for more BFBB breaking.
That does it. I'm becoming a lawyer.